Okay. So if you're on the stream, sorry about the little lag. I had some connection problems, but I should be okay now. So what I'm doing is I'm working on these miniatures for Warhammer Direchasm. I found these at
So if you're on the stream, sorry about the
local
lag.
bookshop.
I had some
And
connection
I thought they were
problems, but I
cool. They
should
were
be
on
okay
sale,
now.
so I figured, let's try them.
So what I'm doing is I'm
So-
working on these
I'm going to be working on these now. I've
miniatures
done a lot of the
for
armor. I'm working on the hilt and
Warhammer
the hair.
Direchasm.
So you'll be seeing.
I found these
me work
at
on that.
a
I'll try to give
local
some
bookshop.
details, some tips as I'm working through
I thought they were
this.
cool. They were on sale, so
I
I
hope
figured,
you
let's
enjoy
try
what you're
them.
going to watch, and
So-
feel free to chat in the
I'm gonna
chat
be
section.
working
I
on
love
these
to
now.
chat
I've
with
done a lot of
you
the
all
armor.
as I'm working,
on
so
the hilt and the hair.
please feel free to do so.
So you'll be seeing me work on that. And I'll try to give
So
some
for the hair, I'm
details
thinking
and
like a
tips
black
as I'm working
through
through
a
this.
black
So
as the base. So I'm
I
just
hope
going
you
to go
enjoy
over
what you're going to watch, and feel free to chat in
this
the
vampire's hair
chat
with
section. I
black.
love to chat with you all as I'm working, so please feel free to do so.
It's a little
So for
watered
the hair,
down
I'm
black.
thinking it's like a black. Do a
make
black
it
as
in
the
areas
base.
it shouldn't.
I'm just
Like
going
the
to
ears,
go
but
over
I can easily fix that.
this vampire's hair with black. It's a little watered down black.
So I'm adding black. I'm going to add some kind
make
of
it into some areas it
like a
shouldn't.
blue, maybe like a
Ears,
dark
I can
blue
easily
tint
fix
to
that.
it, so it's not so flat. So I'm trying to go lore, like how it looks on the box. I'm trying to go with the lore of the box.
So I'm adding
so
black. I'm going to add some kind
I
of.
don't want to take too much
blue,
creative freedom,
like a
but I
dark
have
blue
seen some
tint
pretty
to it.
cool
So it's not
versions
so
of these
flat.
people's, of different people's minis. Some made them like bronze and black. Some people made them,
I'm trying to go
purple. So
lore,
lots of
like
different
how it looks on the box. I'm trying to go with
but
the lore of the box.
I prefer
so
to at least do my first.
I don't want to take
mini
too much creative freedom,
as
but I
was
have seen
intended.
some pretty cool versions of these people's, of different people's minis. Some made them like bronze and black. Some people made them, like purple.
And
so
from what I've
lots
seen,
of different
I've played with
possibilities.
some settings. There's
but
always a lag.
I prefer to at
on
least do my first
stream coming
mini
to you all.
as
So-
was intended.
If you're in the comments section or in the chat, I may not see it until a few seconds, so please be patient. Not trying to
And from what I've
ignore
seen,
you, I'm
I've
just trying
played
to
with some settings. There's
keep up with
always
the
a
lag.
lag on my stream coming to you all. So if you're in the comments section or in the chat, I may not see it until a few seconds, so please be patient. Not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to keep up with the lag.
This is my first Warhammer mini, so I really don't know what to expect, or I didn't know. The building was really nice. I enjoyed the building. It was super easy, no glue. I like that part. Everything just kind of snapped together. I'm used to model kits and things like that.
This is
so
my first Warhammer
no glue
mini, so I
needed for the
really
most part. So I really
don't know what
enjoyed
to
putting these
expect, or
things
I
together.
didn't know. The building was really nice. I enjoyed the building. It was
And this set
super
comes with
easy.
4.
No glue.
I'm just working on
I
one
like
right
that
now.
part. Everything just kind of snapped together.
4 different
I'm used to
vampires.
model kits and things like that, so no glue needed for the most
we
part.
don't know what the premise
I
of
really enjoyed putting these things
Direchasm
together.
is. There's vampires, and I'm guessing there's like
And
a
this set comes with
King's
4.
Guard or some
I'm
kind of
working on
knight
one
that
right
they're
now.
going up against. So I really don't know, but I
4
like
different
vampire
vampires.
look and how they. I like how they look.
And we don't know
how
what the
they
premise of
are stylized.
Direchasm is.
So I
There's
figured let's try it
vampires,
out.
and I'm guessing there's like a King's Guard or some kind of knight that they're going up against. So I really don't know, but I like vampire look and
So I'm
how
just
they,
putting on the base
I
black.
like how
I
they
said.
look and how they
I'll go back later with
are
some other
stylized.
colors. Maybe a blue
So I
or
figured let's try it out.
a gray.
So I'm just putting on the base black, like I said. I'll go back later with some other colors. Maybe a blue or a gray.
So there's the base black pretty much. Try to get in some of these crevices that his neck guard's covering. It's about time to fix the glue again, or the putty. These bases are so sharp, they just eat through the putty. So there's the base black pretty much. I've never had a problem as much as this with that putty's neck guard's covering. That'll be better. It's about time to fix the glue again, or the putty. He's going over the hilt again on this weapon here. Let's eat through the putty. I've never had a problem as much as this with the putty. Oops, sorry about that. That'll be better. Just going over the hilt again on this weapon here. Oops, sorry about that. Hey, Sebastian. Good to see you again. I hope you had a good holiday. It didn't tell me that you popped up, so I wasn't looking at the chat, but I'm glad that you're here. Always good to have you on. Hey, Sebastian. Good to see you again. I hope you had a good holiday. It didn't tell me that you popped up, so I wasn't looking at the chat, but I'm glad that you're here. Always good to have you on. Let's try to bring it closer to the camera a little bit. Maybe we can see some of the details here. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to look at two different screens here. And so I was pretty impressed with the detail on these figures for being plastic. Like, it's a different type of plastic. It's like a really soft plastic. Details here. So I was pretty impressed. Especially this guy's chest plate. Kind of look at super detailed with that skull, the eyes. And so I was pretty impressed with the detail on these figures for being plastic. Like, it's a different type of plastic. What is with the putty? It's like a really soft plastic. These bases. So I was pretty impressed. You know, the gold wing part of the armor, especially this guy's chest plate. Super detailed for the skull size, which is great. Eyes. And then just the golden areas there. And then with the putty again. And what is with the putty? So we got the black. These bases. You know, the gold base part done. Pretty detailed for the size, which is great. Brush a little bit, a little too wet. So we got the black. There we go. For the base part done. So that's the base black for the hair, for the hilt. I brush a little bit, a little too wet. So this guy's nearing completion for him. There we go. I'm only working on the base. I might do that last. I'm debating if I want to do all the bases at the same time. So that's the base. Or do the figure, then the base, figure, base, figure, base. So that is something I'll have to figure out later. So this guy's nearing completion. I love the cracked statue base. I might do that. I think that's really cool. Last. I'm debating if I want to make this all the bases at the same time. Stone or do the figure, then the base, figure, base, kind of mossy maybe. Some kind of like really something I'll have to figure out. War torn looking. So I want to fill in this kind of. But I love the follow suit statue base. This I think that character is standing. So I really want to make this look that he has truly broken down this town, and kind of mossy maybe, some kind and of is crushing their war-torn statue. Their so I want to fill in this kind of. That. So I really want to make this pop. I want to follow suit how this character is standing. So a couple more colors. Make it seem that he has truly broken down this town, this place, and is crushing their statue, their symbol of faith. So I'm going to use so I really want to make this pop. What I'm calling back here, I think what I think this is that is like a couple more colors here. Flask of blood for when he's weakened. So he would drink that. So I'm going to add some blood to that pouch. Just touch up. So I'm going to use red for what I'm calling back here. I think what I think this is that is like a
flask of blood for when he's weakened.
I'm going to add that, add some of the gold color to that flask.
Add some blood to that pouch.
Just
touch up
here.
this area here.
I don't need a whole lot of the gold for that small area. So I'm just going to get my small brush and just dip it into the...
So I'm going to add that, add some of the gold color to that flask.
So I'm using greedy gold.
Just shake up my paint here.
It's a really
I don't need a whole
nice
lot of
gold, very
small
deep
area.
That's what I've used for the other
So I'm just going
parts
to
of gold here.
get my small brush.
But I will say it's pretty watery.
Just dip it
so
into
I
the
do not like that part of the paint, that it's kind of watery
itself. So I'm using greedy
But I think
gold.
all the metallics are always kind of watery.
It's a really nice gold. It's
Not
very
quite
deep.
sure the reason
I use for the other parts of gold here.
That's what I've kind of noticed.
But I will say it's pretty watery.
So
I do not like that
gold
part of the paint, that it's kind of watery.
We need to get a little drop of gold.
I think all the metallics are always kind of watery.
Left in the pot. Okay, perfect.
Not quite sure
Single
the reasoning
drop
behind that,
less.
but that's what I've kind of noticed. So then I'll just add some of the gold. Okay, we need to get a little drop of gold.
Pretty, like I said, pretty watery.
There's not enough left in the pot. Okay, perfect. A single
That's
drop.
my one gripe with this. That's a pretty small gripe, honestly. But I like that shade. It's a very different shade of
pretty
gold
watery.
than what I'm used to using. So it's a really, it looks like gold coin
my
as
one
opposed to
gripe
like a
with
different gold style. Very deep, very shiny.
That's a pretty small gripe, honestly.
So this will need a couple
I like
coats.
that shade.
So
it's a
watery,
very different
such a
shade
tiny
of gold
spot.
than what I'm used to using. So it's a really, it looks like gold coin as opposed to like a different gold style. Very deep, very shiny. So this will need a couple coats. It's so watery and it's such a tiny spot.
Just touching up part of his cloak. Tiny bit of gold got on there. Touch up this spot here. Okay. Just touching up part of his cloak.
Tiny bit of gold got on
So
there.
we'll let that dry a little bit before we add some more gold. In the meantime, I'll use blood red. Or bloody red, sorry. I like this color. This was the base red for the armor. So I got this
So we'll let that dry a little bit before we add some more gold.
To mix my
In the
paint.
meantime, I'll
So
use
you may hear it in the background. It's kind of low hum.
blood red.
It works really
red,
well.
sorry. I like this color.
Very
This was
happy
the
with
base
it.
red for
It's
the armor.
used for labs and things like that.
So
But
I got
you could
this,
use it to mix pretty much anything.
Vortex for Christmas. I'm going to use it to mix my paint. So you may hear it in
So
the
I'll
background.
use a
It's kinda
small
low hum.
drop.
It works really well. Very happy with it. It's used for labs and things like that, but you could use it to mix
Small
pretty much
drop
anything.
of red's all we need.
So I'll use just a small drop.
Don't need a whole lot.
Tip's clogged. Just
I'll clean out that tip.
Just a small drop of red's all we need.
Then I'll just make this red.
Don't need a whole lot.
To look like it's full of blood.
I'll clean out the tip.
I'll add some white to make it look like it's shiny. It's in a container.
To look like it's full of blood. I'll add some white to make it look like it's shiny. It's in a container.
And some more of the gold now. Put this back on where it should go. And it looks like it's
some more of the gold
mostly
now.
gold, actually. These kind of gold
back on where it
edges
should
go. And this nice crested flask, I guess you would call it. Like a flask where he keeps his gold,
mostly gold,
or his
actually.
blood, sorry.
These kind of
When he's
gold
weary
edges
from battle, can take a sip.
and this nice crested flask, I guess you would call it.
Go over the red
flask
again.
where he keeps his gold or his blood. Sorry.
Red's a very weak color, so
When
we
he's
need
weary from
a
battle,
couple layers for sure.
can take a sip. Let's go over the red again.
So here's the. Oh, sorry.
Red's a very weak
Here's
color,
that
so we
red.
need a couple layers for sure.
I'm going to swap my screen really quick. If you'll bear with me for just a moment.
So here's the.
Oh, sorry. Here's that red. There we go. Whoa. Sorry.
I'm going to swap my screen really quick.
And we'll touch up some of this other gold while we're here.
If you'll bear with me for just a moment.
Touch up some of this area. There we go. Whoa. Sorry. And maybe even some of this brown.
And we'll touch up some of this other gold while we're here.
This nice leather brown.
Touch up some of this area. And maybe even some of this brown.
Especially on
This
the
nice
bottom.
leather brown.
Right here. Boom. You can see there's a little bit of mist color here. So I'll just go behind him and get some of that gray turn black. With these kind of bumpy textures, you're always missing little spots here and there. You can see there's a little bit of mist. So don't feel too bad if you end up missing an area.
So I'll just go behind him and get some of that gray turn black. With these kind of bumpy textures, you're always missing little spots here and there. So don't feel too bad if you end up missing an area.
And so for his skin, I use straight bone white, so it's kind of an off white. Just touch up some of this area where the black got into.
And so for his skin, I
Plus
use
it'd be
straight
easy to touch up things like that if I
bone white, so it's
didn't
kind of
mix
an
the color.
off white. Just touch up some of this area where the black got into.
And we'll just touch up some of the black on his temple here. Some of this area didn't really get
Plus,
color.
it'd be easy to touch
Sorry,
up
you can't
things
quite
like
see
that
me
if I
doing this. Didn't mix a color.
And we'll just touch up some of the black. Okay, on his temple here. Some of this
Part
area.
of his hair is still kind of red.
Sorry, you can't quite see me doing this.
So let's touch that up a little bit.
Okay. And part of his hair is still kind of red.
Okay.
So let's touch that up a little bit.
think he's looking good so far. Okay, gotta be a little more crisp. I don't know why it's kind of fuzzy. Sorry. This is supposed to be a good, better webcam, but supposed to be 4K as well, so I don't know why it kind of does this. It may just be the lighting or something like that. I think he's looking good so far. Gotta be a little more crisp. I don't know why it's kind of fuzzy. Sorry. This is supposed to be a good,
better on your end than it
better
does
webcam,
mine.
but I hope that's the case. Supposed to be 4K as well, so I don't know why it kind of does this. It may just be the lighting or something like that. For the blade, I'm just going to use metallic paint. I'll use shining silver.
Well, maybe it looks better on your end than it does mine. I hope that's the case.
Plate mail metal. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong color. I use plate mail metal.
Now we'll get his blade. For the
My
blade,
go-to
use
metallic.
metallic
Mix
paint.
it up a little bit.
I'll use shining
I've
silver.
been pretty busy with other stuff lately, so I haven't been able to work on
Plate
minis
mail
too
metal.
much. So it's nice to get back into the groove.
I use plate mail metal. My go-to metallic.
I'll add just a small
Let's
amount
mix it up a
of
little
metallic.
bit.
We don't need a whole lot.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy with other
Well,
stuff
that
lately, so I
silver
haven't been able
metallic
to
is a
work on
little
minis
less
too much.
watery. I don't
So it's nice to get
understand
back
the
in the
reason behind
groove.
that, but that's what I've noticed. So this one will just,
I'll
add some metallic to the blade.
of metallic. We don't need a whole lot.
We'll add some details to it once this dries. I'll make it add some
that
chips,
silver
maybe
metallic
some
is a little
scuffs,
less watery. I don't
because I
understand the
doubt
reason behind that.
this
but
is his
that's what
first
I've
time
noticed.
out in the battlefield.
So this one will just, add some metallic to the blade. It'll add some details to it once this dries. I'll make it add some chips, maybe some scuffs.
So I'm just going one
Because I
direction
doubt
with it.
This is his first time out in the battlefield.
Painting upward. It's very tempting to paint multiple directions, but on your first layer, that will kind of negate what you put down. So you want to
So I'm just going
go in one direction.
with it.
Just like when you're painting the house or you're painting walls, one direction.
Painting upward.
Same rules apply for that here.
It's very tempting to paint multiple directions, but on your first layer, that'll kind of negate what you put down. So you want to go in one direction. Just like when you're painting the house or you're painting walls, one direction.
This blade's a little metallic now,
Same
so it looks
rules
more like a
apply for
blade
that here.
Clean off my brush. So there,
Okay.
we have pretty much the base
This blade's a little
colors
metallic now,
with
so it
some
looks more like
shading
a
on the
blade.
red. I'm not sure if you can see that from here. I would have liked to do this start to finish on a stream, but
Off my brush.
the time I had to work on it, it was late at night. I didn't want to set up everything. So I've got this for now.
We have pretty much the base.
So I hope that you
colors with
think
some
this looked
shading
good. I
on the
hope
red.
you
I'm not
liked
sure if you can see
watching
that
it if
from
you did
here.
watch it.
I would have liked to do this start
mostly
to
on
finish on the
Tumblr
stream, but
under CustomKits.
the time I
That's
had
where
to
first
work on it, it was
began.
late at
Most
night,
of
and I
my
didn't
friends
want
and
to set up
followers came from
everything,
there.
so
I've
got this for now.
I
So
try
I
to
hope
stream
that you
at least once a
think
month.
this looks good.
If I have
hope
more
you
time, I'll do
liked
more.
watching it if you did watch
My
it.
commissions are
I
typically
do
open,
post
so if you
mostly
have
on Tumblr
any questions,
under
you look at some of my stuff, you're like,
CustomKits.
hey,
That's
that
where I
looks cool.
first
I would want
began.
one of those.
Most of my
Just
friends
reach
and
out to me.
followers came from
I'm
there.
pretty quick with the
so
message.
I owe them a lot.
So I hope you enjoyed this.
I try to stream
and I will see you on the
at
next
least
video.
once a month. If I have more time, I'll do more. My commissions are typically open, so if you have any questions, you look at some of my stuff, and you're like, hey, that looks cool, I would want one of those, just reach out to me. I'm pretty quick with the message.